Hello, this is Ready, Set Reiki, a podcast about all things Reiki. So, we welcome the curious beginner all the way to the seasoned master teacher, all lineages and all levels. So, today on our journey, you are lucky enough not only to have one guide, but two. So, I am your one guide, Tracy C. Wright.
And I am your co-guide, or the other half of Ready, Set Reiki, Millie Pampina.
And welcome today, friends. So I have a very wonderful guest here. I found her, can you believe it or not, 3 years ago. That COVID came into our lives, but there was a silver lining with COVID as that Yogaworks went online. And so I found a wonderful instructor on there named Zepure. She was teaching urban Zen. I was like, what is this? So I got to know her over the days and weeks during COVID. And I also saw her, she did a pop up for Yoga World Heart. So we're going to find out about her. So she is a Yogaworks 500-hour certified teacher, urban Zen integrative therapist, Reiki master practitioner, and teacher. Now, she has been practicing yoga since 2005, but teaching since 2014. She completed her Urban Zen integrative therapy and restorative training at Yogaworks. So she is a wonderful person, and she is also collaborates with one of my mentors and a person who I hold to a standard of excellence, Danny Ibarra. So welcome, Zepure, and I'm going to let you say your beautiful name because I'll end up butchering it. But welcome to Ready, Set Reiki.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Thank you for having me. My name is Zepure Kouyoumdjian, and I'm certified 500-hour teacher, restorative, urban Zen, therapeutic, yin, and yoga nidra certified teacher as well. And Reiki practitioner. I completed my Reiki all levels, the master level as well, with Eleanor Khoury, and she's my master teacher. So I've been practicing yoga and meditation since 2005 with my first teacher in my country. So I moved from Beirut to LA 10 years ago, but I was practicing yoga and meditation before. And Reiki came to my life. I didn't know anything about Reiki, but I was practicing Zen meditation with my first teacher. His name is Leon Harry Kevorkian. And when I was moving to America, he gave me this book, Reiki to Go, as a gift. So I just got the book and I was looking, what is this? I see the hands on. And then I moved. I started to practice yoga at Yogaworks as, regular practice because I had to just, learn more new methodologies. And then someday it happened that they asked me, oh, we have Reiki training. Do you want to enroll to this training? Eleanor Khoury was doing the training. I was, what is Reiki? And I didn't sign up for this training. And they said, your name is on. I was, no way, And then I asked, what is Reiki? And she said, it's healing and harmonizing, balancing technique. So you learn how to treat yourself, how to give yourself self-healing. I was, okay, I'm going to take it. So it was so interesting because it was meant to be, to come into my life, because I needed that treatment for myself first. So the first level was for self-healing because I was having, when you move from country to another country, you get very stressed out and you are out of balance and ungrounded. So it came at the right moment to just, give me that, groundness and to be connected back to myself, because I lost my meditation practice when I moved here. So I was, oh, this is what I was looking for. And then I started to do the second week, I enrolled to the second level because it was interesting for me. I was interested to learn more about the techniques. And I started to volunteer at Yogaworks in the Urban Zen program. Then I had an accident, injured myself, and I was not able to move my neck, my shoulder, my arm. So somebody just gave me a gift, Reiki healing, like somebody gives you the massage gift card, and she gave me a Reiki gift card. I took that, I got that one, and it was very, very, even though when I went to the chiropractor back, he said, what did you do in your body? After the accident, you get very stiff and my neck was not moving, but the Reiki just balanced and it opened all the energy channels. So this was the beginning. And I said, I'm going to continue this journey. But when I got to the master level, it was so scary for me. I said, no, I'm not going to teach Reiki. No, it's not my thing. And then my friends started to, because you have to just, tune people, you have to just, teach Reiki to your families and your friends. My friends started to ask me, can you tune us? Can you teach us Reiki? I was, oh my God, why? So this was the beginning and this was the journey. And I believe in Reiki because it's not a religious, and it's a healing, balancing, harmonizing technique. I do Reiki in my all classes. In the relaxation at the beginning, when I was new teacher, during the relaxation, I used to do Reiki on their feet because it grounds them. Because people in their minds always, and they think more than they relax. So Reiki helps, to ground them and to just connect them back into their self.
Wonderful. Wonderful. See, that's a great way to do it, just to bring it into your Reiki practice and teaching.
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful. So I love it how, the universe had different plans for you with Reiki. So even though you didn't feel you were ready, there it was showing up for you. So wonderful. So as we're talking about Reiki, so do you agree with any of the common misperceptions about the work within Reiki? So I'm sure you have people, as you said, all the time that are coming up and asking you for Reiki or to attune them and to train you. So is there anything that you found as you're going out in the community that is this misperception that people, as they talk to you, that's like, whoa, where's that coming from?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially in America, most of people are very spiritual and holistic. So they agree with Reiki and they accept it. But some people, when they come to the class and I, just ask them, I'm going to do some Reiki hands on or off, if you don't agree, please raise your hand. And people just ask, what is Reiki? Is it religious? This is the only thing that, they just, mix it or miss it. So Reiki is not a religious. It's a spiritual practice. It's a meditation. It's commitment. You have to just, practice Reiki daily to bring that harmony and balance, to change your old habits. Because, I believe that by experiencing in myself, because when I started to practice Reiki, especially the symbols, when you use the symbols, they help you to release all the, old habits. They change your mind. You get more connected. And, from time to time, when you get depressed, you go back to your old habits. So it shifts the whole aspect. Yeah.
Wonderful. So for some of our
and I want people to understand that it's not religious, it's a
Wonderful.
Spiritual practice, it's a meditation only.
Yes. Perfect. So one of my questions for viewers who are not familiar, I know this answer, you know this answer, but for those of you, our viewers who are not familiar, can you tell us about Urban Zen?
Oh yeah. Urban Zen. It's that amazing integrative therapeutic class, which is one of my babies, my first baby now. Yeah, it came into my life when I injured myself in an accident and I was not able to move. So they told me to take the Urban Zen, which was very nice combination with aromatherapy, Reiki hands, gentle movements, in-bed movements for the hospital and the clinical settings. integrative therapeutic, gentle movements, aromatherapy, essential oils, body awareness meditation. So it brings your mind to the center. So when you are moving your arm, just, you are aware that you are moving your arm. It's not mechanically, it's by awareness. And some restorative postures at the end when we facilitate Reiki, which is amazing. So last week I was invited to Palm Desert for American Armenian Medical Society for a wellness retreat, and to teach them urban Zen, how it is a self-care and self-love session. One of the people just told me, I don't want to move out of the floor because it's so relaxing. Yeah, urban Zen is very healing, very therapeutic, and it's the complete and the perfect combination to heal somebody with Reiki and restorative postures with that, meditation.
Yeah. And I mean, it was such a blessing, during COVID that you were able to offer that class on
Yeah.
So that was a really nice class on there on the schedule. So, I mean, I popped in quite frequently when you were on there.
Thank you.
So I really enjoyed it. So our next question is what do you wish your younger self knew about your current profession? And that can be with the Reiki and in your, yoga journey as well.
Yeah. So this is very interesting because when I started to practice yoga and do meditation, specifically after I learned Reiki and Urban Zen, I said, I wish I knew all these things before. Yeah, because I started to do yoga in my 30s. And every time, I see my teachers, they are young, like, 28 or, 24. I say, I wish I was, knew yoga and meditation when I was younger, because I have anxiety. I used to have anxiety, but now the level is very low. And I inherited that from my grandma and my mom. And I didn't know that it was anxiety. After I started to educate myself, I know about, I learned about Reiki and yoga, how it, levels and lowers the level of the anxiety and the stress. And my daughter has the same anxiety. So now I'm just, working on myself to just, clear that ancestry lineage from my family too. Because my mom doesn't know, she didn't know before, my grandma didn't know. And I don't blame them because, in their time, there was no meditation, there was no Reiki and yoga. So I am so blessed to have all these, healing and harmonizing, balancing modalities came into my life as a blessing, as a gift, so that I can, first of all, work on myself, heal myself, and then share this gift with the humanity.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And something you also do that you did not mention is the sound bowls, the singing bowls, right?
Oh yeah, the singing bowl. I'm gonna
So
just
I've
show
popped
it.
in a couple times and I've seen some singing bowls
Yeah.
there. So Millie and I are big sound bowl. There they are.
Yeah. I do sound healing every month. So I have it as a yin and yoga nidra and sound bath.
Wonderful.
Yeah, tomorrow I'm having the sound bath healing class. And then I do gentle yoga with sound bath every last Friday of the month too.
Wonderful, wonderful. And that's just something that's so much needed in our world. So thank you for
Yeah,
sharing your gift with everyone. That's wonderful.
thanks.
Wonderful. So, in this industry, what is something that everybody in this industry should stop doing?
Yeah. Charging people too high prices.
Mhm. Right.
So yeah, when I did my second level of Reiki, I was just volunteering at the yoga classes. My teacher used to do restorative yoga in the morning at Westlake Village, and I go do Reiki for nothing,
Mhm.
for free. And then somebody asked me, I got a call, her mom was in transition and she was so scared to leave her body. And she said, can you do Reiki? And I was just level 2 practitioner. I said, how? And she said, they are charging me $800 for a session.
Mm-hmm.
And I was new Reiki practitioner, and I was charging like, $50 maybe for doing Reiki for somebody to get the experience. I said, okay. And it was my first experience how to do. She lives in Mexico and I live in LA. I
Yes.
used to wake up every morning at 4:30 and do the session for her mom.
Aw.
You can't believe the third day, I saw her. She's just, leaving. And she called me, thank you so much. My mom, just passed away. So you can share Reiki gift. I give Reiki sessions for free. Like, the wellness retreat that I went last week, I didn't charge anything for them because they are doctors, nurses, everything. And they are here, they are burning out themselves for, healing and treating people. So why you don't share your gift, because I will get that money from somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, charging, because when the money comes easily in a, huge price, it will go in the same way. But the blessing and the gift that when you get the money and you have the blessing from the universe, it's more important for me.
Mm-hmm. It's beautiful. What a beautiful way to look at that. Yeah, and that was what I was finding in the industry too, is there's just no consistency on the pricing. You have one practitioner charging this,
Yeah.
another charging that, and especially with the trainings, I was interested in going into the Reiki Alliance, and to be a master, they're charging $10,000 to do that.
Oh, no.
And these are
Wow.
prices that were set by Madame Takata in the
Mm.
70s. So
Mm.
getting the level 1 would be $200, level 2 is $500, and then that third level is $10,000. So I'm finding that there's no consistency really in the field with it. So what a gift it is to give to other people, and again, it does get returned. So it's a great attitude to have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
and then
you.
just sharing, especially with, nurses, doctors, because they need it the most. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
a hard profession, a lot of weighing on them. So, yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah, I volunteered at UCLA during the Urban Zen, because you have to just volunteer 50 clinical hours. And there was Nurses Week, so we share Reiki for free. We don't charge them.
Right. Wonderful. Wonderful. I love that. I love that. Our next question is, what is the biggest challenge this industry is facing?
Mm. So, yeah, as I said, when they are charging too much for the trainings or for the, don't take in a business mind. I just, say, don't take Reiki or yoga in a business mind. Keep it simple. Yeah, maybe you have to charge for your gas, for your energy, but keep it simple and just, ask your heart.
Hmm. Right. Right. Because
Yeah.
this is really about an industry of service and being of service. So,
Yeah.
I mean, and it's hard on the other aspect. You think of all the training we've gone through as well. So many people feel like, well, I want to get at least my training money back.
Mm.
But again, just being of service and helping people, because that's why we all got into this in the first place. So, what are some of the qualities when it's time for you to get Reiki off of someone? What are the qualities that you look for in a Reiki practitioner?
Yeah. For Reiki, okay. When you get your first level or the second level, so you have to practice on yourself first. And it's not only for the certification, you have to practice it, as a commitment and devotion. Because Master Usui, in his This is Reiki book, so he mentions how Reiki is a commitment and it's a devotional practice. Because when you don't use it, you lose it. I met a lot of people during my trainings, and when I did, we practice on each other. And when I did Reiki, they mentioned that, oh, I did Reiki level 1, but, I didn't use it, so I forgot. Why? Yeah. You go into a training and you are paying this money. When you get the benefits, just, continue practicing, commit to that. Yeah, consistency is the key.
Right. I find that too when I have students come who have taken it before and we kind of get down to, okay, where did things go wrong? Why isn't this working for you? And it comes down to they're not practicing it. They're not doing
Right.
the 21 days of self-care. They're not putting in the work. They're hoping, well, I'm going to show up, I'm going to get that certificate, and then poof, it's going to happen. So, and they're
Yeah.
coming back and they're retaking. So when you do you go and get like Reiki yourself, or do you kind of give Reiki like to yourself, or do you go to someone else to get treatments?
I do self Reiki daily,
Mm-hmm.
and from time to time, I have a student and I have my teacher. So I ask her. I go to get another attunement, another refresher, Reiki session. Yeah, it's very important
Mm-hmm.
uh, to have a Reiki session from your teacher or your friends. You can trade or you can pay for that. I have a lot of friends, they are Reiki practitioners as well. And during COVID, I created this Reiki circle, which was one of the gifts of COVID. Yeah.
You have to find
And
the silver lining where you can.
and yeah, I created this Reiki circle. So I attune them, from time to time. And we do Reiki circle every week, the same day, the same time, as a committed practice for themselves. And from time to time, we share Reiki on each other. Yeah.
Yeah, so good.
And yeah, we have open house that everybody just brings the table, and we do Reiki sessions on people, and people can join. So 2 practitioners working on one person, or 3 practitioners working on one person.
Okay.
So that they learn and they practice, and you practice as well.
Right. Right. And this perfectly goes into that next question, is what advice would you give someone who is just kind of entering this profession?
Yeah. Practice. Just practice. So first of all, the Reiki principles, the simple meditation, like you place your palms in Gassho or Namaste prayer hands and repeat the principle. This is just 15 minutes practice, which balances and grounds you. It centers you. And then giving yourself treatment to yourself, you feel the difference. It's different. When I go to bed, I do self Reiki on my head, and I used to have nightmares actually. Before I did my advanced level, I used to have nightmares. But after I did my advanced level and I started to be more committed to my practice, my all nightmares were gone, because the light was, just taking place instead of the darkness.
Right.
Yeah.
Does help.
So
It's amazing.
I give the advice that, first of all, you, like Master Usui said, you first, then the others, because it's a self-healing and self-care. Why you don't care of yourself first, so that you can take care of anybody else?
Right. Right. And I always tell my students that just starting out in level 1, take a screenshot of those principles, put them on your phone, because you're always going to look at that. Put a post-it,
Right.
stick it on the refrigerator, put it on the mirror. At least once a day, look at that principle. You don't necessarily have to do all of them, but just take it just for the day. What can I do today? You may look at I may be struggling with that anger, but what else can you work on? So, and again, and that's just putting in the time and putting in the work. So I agree as well, just the practice. And even if it's just, I'm opening the refrigerator, I'm taking a bottle of water, I'm going to give it Reiki. And people are like, what? I'm like, no, every day, even if it's the car keys, your car, your shoes. And it's just these simple acts day by day that build on each other. And soon enough, it's just going to be so routine that it's like,
Right.
it's flowing. So, right.
Yeah. Practicing gratitude daily is important.
Perfect. Yes. Well, yep. So our next question is, what books do you recommend? And these can be Reiki books, these can be yoga books, or any books along your journey of life that really have resonated with you.
Yeah. Can I show them one by one?
Of course.
Yeah. So the first one, this is very simple book. Everybody can have it.
So Reiki
This
to
is the
go.
gift. Yeah, Reiki to go. And these are the most important books.
Okay.
The Japanese Art of Reiki, and this is
Wonderful.
Reiki. This is a conversation with Master Usui from Frankarjava Peter. So he tells about anything, everything, not anything. So he tells about everything about Reiki and how it, can take place in your, embodiment, in your cells, in your meridians, in your whole, being. Because what's going on when you are giving Reiki to somebody? The energy is shifting. The old energy is breaking. New energy is just, rebuilding and renewing. So it's very important to just, educate yourself. Reiki for Life. I read a lot of books.
Yes.
And there is another book, Light on Reiki. This is very important book too.
Right. That is,
Yeah. So from time to time, not every day, but you have to get to your books, because maybe today you understand something and next week you will understand it more deeply. What does it mean?
Now, do you have in your trainings, do you have these books as recommendations that you tell your
Yes.
students? Okay, so that's a
Yes.
part of your training as well.
Yeah, I recommend these 3 books to have them, because this teaches how to do the konyokuho, the dry bathing. And my first book was this one after my Reiki level 1.
Okay.
My first level, I was reading this one, and there is interesting story in that, how, she realized her healing hands without having any Reiki training, because Reiki comes as a gift and it's a natural healing method. Everybody has it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Interesting. Well, another thing that I have found in this field of Reiki is the different levels. So you said you were a 3. Millie and I are a level 4. I don't know if you are aware of a level 4, where we spent an entire year in an internship with a master teacher. And we had to read books. We had to log hours. We had to do a PowerPoint presentation for Reiki talks. So we had to go through that interesting process. So we're finding as we're getting out there that many people got their teacher attunement in 3, where we got ours in level 4 as we took that year internship. So,
so you mean after the advanced level for the master preparation, you take 1 year, right?
Yes, it was the way they do it at the Energy Connection. This is out in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area. So we did 3, the level 3, we got that master symbol, but we didn't get the teacher attunement. We went on to 4 and spent an entire year, and we would audit classes and things like that, and had to log hours. And then after we put in that time, then we got the teacher attunement. So it's just interesting, because as I'm getting out there and talking, a lot of people are like, we didn't have to do that, or that was...
No, you have to.
Yeah.
I did it actually. I did it when I got my 4th level, the master level.
Yeah.
So it took me 1 year to just, start teaching, because I worked on myself first, because I used to have a lot of headache, and it was, blockades in my body, detoxifying, acupuncture, massage sessions, to cleanse all that, toxins. And then I went to Hawaii with my master teacher, Eleanor Curry, and I did the Reiki again, the master level again. So I got the attunement, and I learned how to teach Reiki.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Love it. I love it. All right. So the last one is, tell us where you are. Where can our listeners find you? So you have all these great skills and all this great knowledge, and, you offer all these different Reiki shares and this urban Zen and gentle yoga. So where can they find you?
So I live in Los Angeles, LA, in Granada Hills. And I have my own yoga space where I'm sitting right now. I do private sessions, Reiki sessions, and yoga practice. And I teach on Zoom every Wednesday. I teach every Wednesday Yin and Yoga Nidra with sound bath. I teach Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Urban Zen Integrative Therapeutic class. It's on Zoom and in person as well. And I teach at Prima Yoga on Chatsworth, Granada Hills, 3 times a week. And now I'm teaching at Yoga at Santa Clarita, therapeutic, urban Zen, and level 1.
Right. And are you also having a level 2 coming up at Yoga?
Yes, we did the level 1 training, and
Yes.
now we are doing the second level. There is another level 1 in July.
Yes. Wonderful.
Yeah. So trainings are always available. You know, you can just look at my website. It's ZepureKouyoumdjianYoga.com. And I have a page on Instagram. It's Zepure K Yoga and Reiki. And then I have on Facebook, it's Zepure Kouyoumdjian Yoga or Zepure Kouyoumdjian Mikaelian. I post everything there.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, you can also look up Yoga.
Yoga, Prima Yoga.
Yes.
I do hike and yoga as well every Saturday morning.
Yes, good, wonderful.
We go hiking in the nature, and then we do an hour yoga class on the grass with the birds and the trees.
A busy girl. I love it.
Hopefully.
Well, thank you so much. This is our end of our questions part of our segment, but I'm going to turn you over to Millie, who has questions from some of our followers. So we post this on social media, on our webpage and our Instagram and Facebook, and she has 3 questions from our audience members. So I'm going to turn you over to Millie.
Hi, Millie.
So much, Tracy. Hi. I'm Zepure. I was just enjoying listening to you so much, and I love your focus on the caregiver support. I know that the reason I am doing this and have started doing this some time ago was I had a life incident that put me in a position of being a caregiver, and I just found that the caregivers, doctors, nurses, any kind of clinician, and the people, especially, that I met through these systems and this work, just didn't receive the personal care or understand the care, the self-care they needed in these positions, because they were just giving. So thank you for, clarifying that. I just really enjoyed that discussion. What we do is we gather some questions from our social media sites. Tracy does an excellent job of boiling them down. So we have 3 here, but we always invite people to, feel free to ask, because if we feel that we need to get back to somebody, we absolutely will. But the first one we have is, why is Reiki so important to you? And I heard a lot of that come through in the interview, but why is Reiki so important to you?
Yeah, that is a very nice question, because as I experienced, I used to go every day to practice yoga, and I felt the difference in my practice when I do Reiki before and when I don't do Reiki. Sometimes, you get out of the bed, just, wash your face and dress up and go, to take your class. So when I do Reiki on myself, as I start to practice, my practice is more focused, centered, and, my balance is there. And specifically when I used to teach Urban Zen or just volunteer as a Reiki practitioner in the Urban Zen classes, like Danny's class, Jessica's class, or other teachers' classes. So I am very centered. And when I go to take after that, I go to take a class, I feel like, I do the headstand, I do the handstand, I do the Pincha Mayurasana. Oh my God, what's going on? But, you are out of your mind. You are not thinking about anything. You are centered. Just you are there when you practice Reiki. That is the difference. I noticed that in myself, so that I ask, because I know now I see in my students when they come to the Ayurveda study or, to do a class, their mind is just, busy. I see the energy there. So First of all, I do self-Reiki treatment for them, and then we start to practice yoga so that it centers them and they are there. The mind is just, centered in the wisdom.
Wonderful. Yeah, I just find that to be a, great application. Hopefully people will understand that really is, you want them in that moment so they're more focused on their own needs and getting everything they can out of the session. So how often do you, as an experienced practitioner, recommend someone receive a Reiki treatment?
Daily. I wish, somebody gives you Reiki every day. Like, I have a cousin, whenever I go to visit her, she says, they call me Zuzu. Zuzu, please put your hands on my shoulders. Yeah, so it's recommended, for self-practice daily. But if you are taking sessions from, other practitioners or from your teacher, at least, every other week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, every other week.
Thank you. And again, what inspired you to teach Reiki? What made it so you wanted to, or you would move forward with the teaching of the Reiki?
So as I said, this first book, Reiki to Go, from my teacher, inspired me to learn about Reiki, and the teaching came by itself because the self-healing that I got from the Reiki practice in the first level, and I saw the benefits. So it inspired me to, okay, I'm going to share this gift with the humanity, because I see a lot of people, they are suffering from anxiety. They have pain. You can't believe how, I don't know people. When there is 35 people in the room and you enter the room to teach Urban Zen, you are only there and you are the instrument. So I'm not doing anything there. Just, my energy, their energy is calling me to put the hands on. And a lot of people, after the class, they just, come and say, how do you know that I was, suffering from anxiety? I have headache, or, my heart was full, and she just, released into tears. I say, I don't know. That is the Reiki. I'm not doing anything. So one of the principles that, we practice, I am not the giver, I am the receiver, because when you are giving Reiki, you are receiving as well. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to mention a very beautiful, important message from Master Usui, because he used to attune people in Japan. This is very old, healing method from Master Usui. It's called Reiju. Reiju is public attunement. And in the Reiju, he used to just, place his hands over the head to give the faith to the student, to have the right thoughts. And at the third eye or the temples, to give the energy for the right perception. At the mouth, to have the memory to write a speech. And at the heart, for the meditation, the right action. And then at the hands, when we do the prayer hands or the gasho hands, just have the wisdom, the inner wisdom, the harmony, and the balance. And he says, Reiki is a devotion and commitment. We are facilitating Reiki, and as Reiki flows, attunes, and treats, we are the instrument in which Reiki conducts its songs. If you will, and it is essential to keep our instrument tuned, our meditation and Reiki practice is that tuning essence.
Beautiful. And so appropriate. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you.
Really, again, one of the things I always like to do is thank you, Zepure. I really appreciate it. you're joining us today. And of course, always with my co-host, co-guide. We like to think of ourselves as guides on this journey because we are constantly learning. We have still so many questions ourselves, and it's been a blessing to meet others and get their input and feedback and just ideas as to where we can lead not only ourselves but our students and continue on this journey. So one of the things I love to leave people with is, because I find everybody I meet and all their experiences are just so amazing that, to see beauty in everything is a choice. And I ask people to always choose wisely. So thank you so much again. And Tracy.
Thank you. Thank you, Tracy and Mila, for just, having this beautiful conversation and for sharing all this, beauty and the Reiki experience with the humanity. You are doing such a great job. I appreciate that. And I'm so honored and blessed to be here. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. So thank you to our listeners for joining us today. It was a wonderful journey that we just went on. You can look us up at www.ReadySetReiki.com, and you can check us out on Facebook and Instagram. So I have been guide number 1, Tracy C. Wright.
And I'm your guide number 2, Millie Pampina.
So until next time.